Hello, professionals. Alex Hormozi's new book, $100 million Leads, How to Get Strangers to Want to Buy Your Stuff, is a breath of fresh air with its straightforward and practical approach, although it's not without few limitations and caveats. Today, I'll be revealing what are the game-changing insights you can immediately run with, and I'll also give you a heads up on areas where Alex might have left you wanting just a bit more. Let's start with the good part. If you've been wondering whether it's just another clickbaity business book, well, I can confidently say it's not. I've been working in the space of offers, leads, and pricing for half a decade. And to me, it seems that if you implement even half of his advice, you'll likely get more leads. Similar to how J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter rejuvenated tales of wizards, making them remarkably accessible with her fresh storytelling approach. Alex's new book revitalizes lead gen advice. It's not about introducing new concepts. It's about delivering them in a digestible, unique style. I can genuinely tell this was written to help people, as 90% of it is dedicated to the practical how-to steps. It's 200 pages of unwavering, actionable business advice, which I found so compelling that I raced through it in just a day. I'm a business major, and one thing I've been exasperated with in many business books is the ambiguity in terms. Like, come on, define your terms, people. A lead, for instance, can mean a gazillion things in the business world. But Alex, he defines his terms, crisp and clear. You're never left in a lurch, second guessing what he means, or did he maybe shift meanings in different chapters to support wobbly assumptions? No. It's crystal clear from the beginning to end. And here's a rebellious thought. This book is complete. I didn't sense any undertones pushing me to purchase another product or service to fully grasp the concepts, It's all in here. But there's a slight exception to this if you're not already a Hormozi fan, which I'll get to in a minute. Last, but definitely not the least, the book doesn't oversimplify stuff or make it look easy when it's not. For example, let's talk about automation, the shiny new toy everyone's raving about. But Alex paints it in its true colors. Automation is a very good thing, yes, but after you do all of the things yourself, by hand, thousands of times. His actual quote from the book is, "The fewer leads you have, the less automation you should use." Doesn't that sound both fresh and realistic? As much as I've liked the book, and I obviously have because it was published only days ago, and I don't usually do book reviews, it's only fair to shed light on some of its limitations from my perspective. Although I said the book is written to be complete, it is obviously the second book in the series, meant to be read after you read the first book, The 100 Million Offers, that came out years ago. That book is cheap and easily available, so it's by no means a trap. And to Alex fans in the hashtag mozination, this will not be important. But if you're a newbie, it adds 100 pages and even more soul-searching and creative thinking before you can rightly use this book the way it's intended to. Now, on the subject of pricing, a subject so close to my dark advisor heart, I felt a mischance. I know pricing was covered in the first book, The 100 Million Offers, but I felt like more could have been said. Different types of pricing, not just high or low, drastically affects how you communicate value when you're doing outreach. The book covers both warm and cold outreach techniques pretty well, but in terms of a comprehensive guide, I would have loved a few more pages of a deeper dive into customizing pricing communication strategies. And speaking of communication, where's the love for copyright? It's the backbone of both types of outreach, ad creation, and content generation. So all of the core 4 ways to get leads the book talks about. While the book hints at the importance of copy, some more practical do's and don'ts would have elevated its game. I guess that's the problem with even the best attempts at trying to solve and cover everything about a subject in one book. There's always some rando on the internet that wanted or expected more. And today, I guess that rando is apparently me. Diving into the deep end here, a word of caution on his advice of cold outreach. I feel some people may take issue with the advice for cold outreach to 100 people a day and, quote, Try to contact them multiple times, multiple ways, wait 3 to 6 months, then try again. While he does emphasize not to annoy anyone and to leave people alone if they explicitly ask not to be contacted again, I can already hear the collective sigh of many who would label such campaigns as pestering. It's a gray zone. He says so himself, so just be careful. And on top of this, for anyone interested in the 448 million of potential clients that are citizens of the EU countries, some of the suggested methods of getting lists of people for cold outreach may not be compatible with the EU law. This may or may not seem relevant to the rest of the world, but as far as I know, even non-EU established organizations are subject to this if they offer goods and or services to the EU citizens. Again, Alex does warn about staying well within the legal straight and narrow several times. But any attempt at getting large quantities of personal data will probably run afoul of the dreaded GDPR. Mind you, this is only for personal data. Business data, as in contact data for companies or other legal entities, is not protected and is free game. Let's step back out of the weeds again and talk about the overall essence of 100 million leads. You heard me praise, critique, and delve deep. So what's the overall verdict? Look, lead hunting is not usually my game. I talk about pricing, negotiation, and value communication, helping people lose the fear and charge closer to the value they already provide. But the healthiest environment to do this in is when you have more than enough leads. And this is why I think Alex's second book is very important for people like my clients and everyone else who wishes they were able to metaphorically shout their value from the rooftops without flinching at saying their dream price tag out loud. Yes, Alex marketing might be a bit bold, loud, in your face, perhaps even brash for some. But accusing him of overpromising and underdelivering with this book, that's just not on the table. Sure, my wish list for the book had items like deeper dives into pricing psychology and copywriting finesse. But to be real, crafting a book isn't about piling on. It's about trimming down to the essentials. And he had like 19 rewrites of this. So if you caught his live reveal event, you'd see that this isn't just theory. It's tried, tested, and implemented by him and his squad. If you haven't watched it and need to know more about what the book contains before you get off the fence and spend the money, go watch that next. Now, if you came here fishing for the ultimate tome on lead generation, the only book you will ever need to get rich, 100 million leads might even disappoint. Despite the breezy narrative and pro tip spotlights, this isn't it. But what it is, it's a manual you can tear through today and hustle on tomorrow. And isn't that the dream? Judging by what he does and how he does it, it certainly is Alex's dream. So that's it. Let me know if you read Alex's book and what you think. And if you enjoyed Alex's stuff, then chances are you will enjoy my content on fearless pricing. So don't forget to subscribe if charging your worth is your jam. Bottom line, $100 million leads, how to get strangers to want to buy your stuff isn't just a good read. It's a real, actionable blueprint. My recommendation is dive in, absorb, and let's see those leads multiply. Keep improving, keep charging. We're in this together.